Hey, it's Amy, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about concealer, okay? The reason that I talk about this a lot on my channel because it is the biggest challenge for mature women. So I'm going to talk about a lot of different things in this video. There's some things I didn't bring in here, but we're going to talk about it anyways, okay? Because I want to talk about prep, even though I didn't bring that in here. So I didn't prep myself for my video, did I? Anyways, so we're going to get right into it. So let's talk about crepiness before. And by the way, one of my eyes has concealer on it and the other one doesn't. This eye has concealer, this one doesn't. Do you see the difference between both of those? We're going to talk about that too. All right. You need to make sure that you are prepping your under eye area before you apply your concealer. You need to use an eye cream, but you need to use it as part of your morning skincare routine. You don't want to put it on right before you apply your under eye concealer. The reason is less is best under there, but you need to make sure you're prepping your under eyes. If you have dryness, you want to make sure you're addressing that. I don't have a lot of dryness under my, well, I do right now because of my allergy drops. I actually have dryness on my eyelids and my under eyes, but normally I don't have dryness. So you want to make sure you're doing it. I already have my eye cream. It's been on since this morning. So just as part of your morning routine, you want to make sure you're using an eye cream. I've shared videos on eye creams. I did one recently. If I can remember, I'll pop it in here. But you want to make sure you're using an eye cream. Just like you want to make sure you're prepping your face, you want to do the same thing on your eyes. There's two things that you're going to need to do besides prepping your under eye area. I feel like a lot of concealers now are full coverage. Some of them aren't. Some of them aren't, but most of them are. So if you have a favorite concealer that you really love, you just love the way it looks on your eyes, but dang it, it always creases. It could be the way that you're applying it. There are some concealers I think that are better than others because I've tested a lot out. I've shared it on my channel and I will keep sharing it as I find new concealers. I will share it with you guys, okay? But if you have a lot of darkness under your eyes, then you're going to want to conceal first or color correct first. So I'm going to share that first. I'm going to share the color correcting because that is what I did on this other eye. You see the difference between this eye and that eye? See how this eye I just look awake. I look fresh. This eye looks like I'm tired. I'm going to go in with this. You don't have to use this. I always say that. You don't. Use whatever you want. I will put all the details below. All the details will be below. This is from Bobbi Brown, and this is her peach color corrector in Bisque. And it looks a lot lighter under the lights than it is. It's more peachy in real life. So I'm going to take this. This is a liner brush, and this is from Trish McEvoy. If I can find it, I'll put it below. And we're going to just take a little amount. And the reason that I'm using this, as opposed to using a concealer brush, I'm going to use this. But see the difference between the two? See how tiny that is? We want to use something that's really tiny because we don't want to put too much product on. That's the biggest mistake people make, is they put way too much product on. Way too much. When you put too much on, it's going to crease. And you might not be able to, depends on how dark your under eyes are. If they're really dark, you still might see it a little bit. You can pile more on to cover it, but then it's going to crease. So that at that point, you have to decide what you want to do. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply this here. You can use a foundation up there, but you just have to be careful because if you're putting it up there, it could crease if you're putting too much product on it. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this brush. This actually comes with the concealer that I'm going to use today. And I'm going to tap this. And I'm just going to tap it on this area. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's kind of thinning it out. So by the time I spread it anywhere else, I'm getting less product down there, as opposed to if I just were to use something like that and put it on, a big gob of it and do it, it's going to crease because you have way too much product on. Okay? So I'm blending this, blending it, tapping it, and I'll get a little bit under here too, under my eye. Now I'm going to take that same liner brush, and I'm going to take my favorite concealer, my Sisley. I'm going to take this. And what I like about this too is I actually don't have to use a color corrector with it because it does have a peach undertone to it. So that's what you could look for, something with a peach undertone concealer, and then you don't have to do both. But I just wanted to show that option, okay? Because we're doing the same thing. I think I got too much, I think I have way too much concealer. We'll see how this is. If you don't get enough, you can always add more, but you just don't want to use too much. But do you see how I have so much more control using a liner brush as opposed to my finger or an applicator? Now I'm doing the same thing. I'm just tapping, okay? Tapping. As I thin it, then I can put some under here. Now we're going to powder. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder, and I'm just putting a little bit on. I'm not baking under my eyes. It's just going to cut down on that reflection. Anyways, do you see the difference between my eyes? See how I don't look tired anymore? Okay. Again, the key is less product. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see what it looks like. So it doesn't look all drying or anything like that. That's all you have to do. Please don't use the applicator. Don't use a doe foot applicator. Just don't. If you find that your under your under eye concealer is creasing, it's because you're using way too much product. Don't use that applicator, seriously, and don't do that little, I see people do like this dot here and a dot here. And when they're doing it, they're like, they don't think they're putting a lot on, but they are. You're still putting too much on. Put it in this area here. Thin it out by tapping it and blend it. Look at how more awake I look. I don't look tired anymore. I just lifted. It's like I just gave myself a facelift with my eyes. My eyes look lifted. It doesn't look like I have tear troughs anymore. I'm telling you. Less is the key. All right. So I just wanted you to see what I look like with all my makeup on now that my eyes are concealed. So do you see the difference that makes when you apply it correctly? And it doesn't look, I'm going to zoom you guys in and I'm going to smile. And I'm not going to smile so you can see what it looks like. See? The less product you use, the less chances that it's going to settle. So I really, really hope that this video is helpful. If you have any questions below, please let me know. And again, I will leave below everything that I shared in this video, but you don't have to use what I'm using. Find products that'll work for you and your budget, okay? But I will put below everything that I shared, and I will catch you guys all in my next video. Bye. See that? My ring. I don't always wear that. You know when I wear my ring? When I leave the house. When I'm home, as soon as I come home, I take it off because I don't like to wash my hands in it. I don't like to clean with it or do stuff with it. I get water that gets trapped in here, and when I would wear it all the time, then I was getting like this little rash on my finger from the water getting trapped in my ring. So I don't wear it all the time. And the only reason I wear it when I film, do you know why? Because I'm like thinking somebody's gonna say, "Oh my God, she's not wearing a ring. Oh my God, is something happening?" There's nothing happening. You know when I wear jewelry as well? Is when I film or leave my house. I don't walk around the house with earrings on. I don't walk around the house with a necklace on. And I don't walk around the house with my rings on. I just want to be... So if you ever see somebody say something in the comments, I want you guys to back me up, and you can just say, calm down. Everything's okay. She's already talked about that, okay? Because you guys always have my back. You guys always have my back. But I'm just putting that out there, okay? Because seriously, the only time that I ever wear stuff is when I leave the house. When I'm at home, I don't wear all that stuff. I don't wear my rings and stuff. I do it for you, but like I'm not worried about it anymore. If somebody thinks what, they can think whatever they want. So there could be a day that I'm not wearing it. And you know what? We're going to be okay with that. Okay? My husband doesn't even wear one. He hasn't worn one in years because he just has a gold band and it doesn't fit right anymore. Like falls, so he just doesn't wear it. I don't really care. I know so many married people that don't wear their rings. It doesn't mean anything. But I know when Angie stopped wearing her ring, people were like, "Ooh," I mean, for her it was something, but I'm just telling you, there's gonna be a day when I'm not wearing it, okay? And it's gonna be okay. I love my ring, that's why I wear it. But I mean, I shouldn't have to feel like I have to wear it just because I'm worried about what somebody says. You know what I mean?